Okay. Good morning, all. Now, first off the rank, just let me know if I'm coming through loud and clear. Let me just check that the stream's coming through on all systems. We're all good to go. All right. We should be up and running. Let me take that out. Chat. There we go. And I will get rid of that. Jason, g'day, mate. Now, welcome to the Morning Playbook. So I'm sort of debating whether to call it the Asian Morning Playbook, Asian session, or just the Morning Playbook. So either way, I'll be going through a few different things in the morning of setups. It's only going to be about a 15-minute stream, 10 or 15 minutes. Got a bit to get through today. Hey, Scott, got a bit to get through today. So I want to, sorry, Scott, I guess you got on quite easy. I think I may have fixed the problem, or hopefully I have put up an alert for you there. So should be easy to get to you. Um, yeah, so I've got a few things I want to get through today. So I'll probably be quick to flick through the charts. So if you've got any questions afterwards, if I've missed something or it doesn't make sense, just send through an email to support@tradesetup.com.au. Okay. Um, so what you see on the screen is it's a TradeSetup website. So I'll just put that up there just to reiterate if you can jump on the website. There will be some new things coming. We're going to add another tab you'll see across the top here for trading resources. So there'll be just the videos that we're going to start to put together and upload there. There'll also be a subscribe button for a weekly newsletter. So anyone that's new, subscribe to that. If you don't want to, if you just want to sort of test the water for now, it's worth subscribing to. And then just receive the emails as they come and then make a decision as you go. All right. So you can scroll through the website, and also down the bottom, you will see just the links to our Facebook and Twitter and all that. So if you can jump on those, sign up or subscribe, that'd be much appreciated to help spread the word. All right, I'll get rid of that now and we'll get started. So the first thing I just want to take a look at is obviously the Dow. Now the Dow has been, has pressed up into that resistance zone. So this is the highs, the most recent highs back from, was it 30th of April? So probably a couple of weeks ago now, about 3 weeks ago. You see the market's popped down, it cleaned out that low. Okay, so this low, it's a bit of a zone. It's not really just hard and fast lows. Excuse me, but if you're going to say it is, cleaning out a level, it would have been this level from 22nd of April. Okay, so it's washed out that zone and popped back up. The good thing is you can see the way it, once it got to this high, the initial time, it's reacted quite hard and fast low. So it didn't really muck around there. It pushed up a couple of, this is the half an hour chart, don't forget, and then bang straight down for a couple of sessions. Then it sort of worked its way back up, built a lower high, and come screaming down again. So that would have got the bears, excited. I think we did trade short on that side. I think it was that side on the ASX. We got short, up about 100, and then boom, turn around and retrace straight on us. So it was a sign that the bulls are still out in force. They're willing to soak up any pressure. They let it get down to the support, clean out that level. That would have trapped a few shorts, and then bang straight back up again. The difference now is that it's consolidating up near those highs around 24,700. So it's not yet showing some weakness. This sort of moved down. That was that bit of a sell-off. It was bought back up straight again, and it's still consolidating around those highs. You can see the momentum. I'm using the MACD for momentum. Has eased off. So as long as it stays above the sort of zero line, and you can see sort of any negative momentum start to ease and positive start to come back into the market, and we're sort of at not a swing point, I would say, but the sellers have tried to push it down. But price, you can see, has gone sideways. So it's a good sign for me for higher prices more than anything else. Okay, I know the bears have got a lot to beat their drum about, and I have been beating it. But the way the market is at the moment, it seems to want to go higher. Okay, so whether or not it's irrelevant whether it should or shouldn't. It's the fact whether it is or isn't. It's not, you don't short because you think it shouldn't be up there. You short because it's coming down, or you buy because it's going up. Okay, so if the market seems to be showing signs that it's going to hold a higher level, which it is, higher level here, higher level, potentially in here at 24,400, just thereabouts, and it starts to rally through these minor, I'll draw them up a bit, through these minor highs, it could pop out, okay, up and through. So don't forget they had unemployment numbers rose overnight, so there's more unemployed out there, which, if anything, has been a positive because it leads to further stimulus, which leads to free money, and off you go, more stimulus to the market. So that's the theory at the moment. So that's on the Dow. If it consolidates, I'm looking at those two levels. It starts to break down. The key one for me is at 24,1800. So 180. Is that right? Yeah, 24,190 thereabouts. If it goes through that level, we might have a bit of a grind back down. And then it'll be interesting to see whether, because if that gets taken out, we could have something like this. Starts hold the level. And again, do what we did here. Squeeze out support, trap some traders, and bang straight back on them. Squeeze out through that low, get some bears in the action, turn around and trap them and squeeze them back out again. That could be what's happening also, because it's taken a bit of energy just to get the market down to these levels, just off these highs. Okay, you can see by the stochastics. All right, over to the DAX now. Remember to get through a bit faster. We've got the DAX is a similar price action. The way it reacted initially off this high, once it pushed up into that high, bang, straight back down. So there's still bearish sentiment around, and a bit of a bought back. The market bought back up, and you can see that was a bit of a grind up before we got more bearish action. So the bearish action, the way it's come down is quite hard and fast, whereas the way it was grinding up is shallow. They're not moving through the highs very much, and then deep pullbacks. Move through the highs, deeper pullback. Move through the high before it started coming down again. So that is just sentiment to me showing the negative action or bearish sentiment was in force. Now we've had a sharp retracement back up to these highs, and if price continues to consolidate around here, potentially above this 11,000 level, 10,950, above here, consolidates, we might get the same as the Dow. You can see the momentum easing, and we've been swinging between buying pressure and selling pressure, but price is holding up. Okay, so if it continues to hold up, any bears will give it a bit of a miss and look for new highs. Okay, so same sort of action as the Dow. But Hang Seng's a bit more negative. So coming in today, you see there's a bit of a sell-off last night, whereas the Dow went sideways and basically the DAX went sideways. So European markets didn't do too much. The Dow didn't do too much. Maybe they're factoring a bit more. Maybe there's trade tensions with Australia and the US now, which is probably seen sellers jump in, especially up near these highs. But if you just take a bigger picture, it's been range bound for quite a while now between 23,300 and so the top upper bounds around 24,700. So if it just continues to do that, we're sort of at the lower end of that bound. So there's a chance that we might find some buying today because of that sell-off. But the key level for me is that 23,800. I'm not going to be jumping in wholeheartedly long because that is quite a steep sell-off, and I think it's going to take quite a bit of action. We might get a sharp move up and then turn around and squeeze everyone back out again. I think it's going to build a base for a while. So shorter to medium term, potentially if we start breaking through that level and we hold a higher level, then go up. But I think it's going to take quite some time. Otherwise, it's just that level holds. We're looking to continue weights down to 23,400. So essentially, going with the flow and looking for continuation of the downside is probably the way to be today, unless it starts to break up through that level. If we start to hold a lower high, obviously, then you can really look to the lower high. If that starts to break, then it could be pressure at the upside, or at least some shorts to be squeezed out of the action. All right, so Ethereum, I didn't talk about this yesterday, but I did send it out on TradingView. So if you haven't joined us in TradingView, just find, you'll see the link on the website at the bottom. Click on the link, you'll go to our page or our profile and just subscribe to that or follow there. So you can get on TradingView as a free source anyway. And it's quite a handy source to use. So you can see the market was chopping around near these highs, same as Bitcoin we explained yesterday, which I'll go over in just a second. And we got that thrust down, took out the lows. And once we start looking like we're going to hold a lower high, and this is a key level. So at this stage, we're holding below 211 and above 208. So as long as we held below 211 and we started breaking through 208, the bears are going to start to come in because of this key lower high. So what they're anticipating is this 211 is going to hold. It's not confirmed until you break through that support around 205, then that confirms a lower high, but it's anticipation, it's sort of front running the fact that we're going to break that low, and then just see if it drags in further bearish action, which it did. It played out beautifully. Okay, so that trended all the way down. We got down to as low as 191 thereabouts, 191.50. Whether or not that's going to continue down is another thing. We've got longer term support, rising support coming through. So it might be the fact that we start to, shorts start to get squeezed out, or we start to get this choppy action and start to get people willing to buy it for a rally again. So we'll be looking at that action. I think this kind of move, you can see, it's a lot different to previously. It's a big flush out. Okay, so once you get that big flush out, if you're short, you'd be looking to take some off, at least take some off the table. Because if we start, there's two things. If we start pumping straight down, I'm inclined to believe it's going to be a higher low. But if we start consolidating around here and rolling over, something like this, yeah, we could be looking at another decent leg down. Okay, and straight through this support. All right, so that's the one to keep an eye on for Ethereum. Bitcoin, another one. Same sort of action. You can see that it was around this level. It was looking. We were talking about it yesterday for a sell-off. It pushed down, consolidated, and then thrust down again. So you can see that the action starts to pick up on the downside when buyers start to realize they're wrong. I mean, they might be happy to buy it above this support. They're looking for whatever reason to buy it. You know, it's bargain hunters. It's buying the dip for whatever reason. But once they start to realize they get it wrong because pressure's coming in at lower levels, okay, sellers, if someone's eager to get out, they're going to step into the lower level and lower level until they're out. Or if they're desperate to sell because they really think this is going down, they're going to start to step in at lower levels. And that's why you get the lower highs come into play. All right, which is what you've got here, and then we jam through that support and we push through, pushed again, we're just bounced back up now. So it'll be interesting with Bitcoin, whether this level here, the fact that it's pushed down, that's the anchor to the downtrend, it's just been broken, whether we start to find some support now and we start to build a bit of a base. Okay, so whether this continues down, we might chop up and then roll again, but we'll have to wait and see. Okay, so that's those two. We've got just want to quickly go over the yen and the pound. So with pound, we spoke about yesterday as well. So it's at a funny level. I was looking at this zone for a bit of an entry. I didn't take that, to be honest. I don't know why. That would have been a good sell through there. You knew at the very least there's going to be stops below that level, okay? And you're coming off a lower high. So a lower high is always a good thing to come off for a sell because it means, like I said, sellers are coming at lower prices. They're willing to give out. They're either trying to get out quicker or they want to enter short and they're happy to come in at lower levels, okay? Because their conviction, either way, it's conviction that's going down, okay? So that's, it did pump through, it did wash out some of these stops, but it's bounced straight back again, which for me is two things, okay? This could easily be a lower high, and we do the same thing. We break through this low around 122.09, say, and we head lower, and that means we're going to attack the low at 121.89 and potentially a deeper leg down. And the way you'd measure that is potentially like that, extend that out. Whoops, and grab that. And we could be heading somewhere down around 129.40, 21.40, if that breaks. Now, you can see it's contracting. You can see these. The problem is it's got a higher low here, then this low, and another higher low, but it's contracting, so it's got lower highs. So at that stage, what you're seeing is the bulls and bears fighting it out. All right, no one's in control. So once we start to break down even through this level, 122.12, it means that bears are in control and anyone that's been buying it is probably going to get squeezed out. Okay, and the reverse, if you start to break up through this level, 22.32, or even one step further up, 22.41, then the bulls are in control. And that's going to work its way up. And there's enough liquidity either side of the market to get squeezed out and have a bit of a run up or a run down. Okay, because you got between here, you got lots of sellers working the way in and lots of buyers working the way in. Okay, so that one is a good one to keep an eye on. I mean, you could pretty much bracket that, a bracket buy and a bracket sell, and just see which way it goes. But either way, what we're going to realize is that the big thing for the buyers that they're up against is this longer term support. Okay, this is the big zone through here. And the fact that it's washed it out, it's come straight back up, and we've broken this longer term downtrend, it could be easily a good long. And this could be the start of another solid leg up. All right. Again, something to keep an eye on. What do we got next is the yen. I'm going to quickly touch on the yen. Now that is similar kind of action. You can see it's contracting in. Are we looking at a lower high here that's going to come into play and continuation through because it's still holding this uptrend? You can see this uptrend. Are we starting to find, let me get rid of all this. Let me just get rid of that. Okay. We're in this resistance zone. So it's way back from, was it 23rd of April, sold off. We come back up, built a high low, and we've come back up again. Okay, we rallied back up into it, and we've just failed off it. But it's still holding higher lows, which is a good sign. So it can easily chop around here and start to lift. And if you get up through this level, 107.84, I wouldn't be surprised at all if it jams up through 108 108.20 and just takes off. Okay, and the same, if we start to hold those lower highs again, okay, we sort of grind up here and then we start to hold at a lower level, there's a chance that it's just going to get sold off quite hard. Okay, and then all these buyers, buyers up here who didn't take it off and they're still buying through here and up here is going to turn around and get squeezed out of the action. All right, so that's on the yen. Again, like Bitcoin, not the Bitcoin, like the pound. Keep an eye on that one because it's in each way better at the moment, but there's a solid argument for either side of the market, and I think they'll have some good payouts. Yen pound. And the last one, I'll just touch on the SPY. It's open now, so it'll be interesting to see what that just done. Right. So that's interesting on the SPY. You can see we've got a big washout on the open, and then that flush low, and that was quite solid selling. Okay, we hold a lower high and we work down. Yeah, to any of the subscribers, sorry, I was looking at alerting that on the short side, potentially holding the stop just above to see where it would go to. I mean, it wouldn't have paid out much, but it could have been a nice little entry, especially through, you can see this little low, this is on a half an hour chart. You probably refine it, but through that low risk above, it would have been 1-to-1 at the most at the moment. But then as soon as you start to fail through here, you can take it off for a profitable trade. But I didn't get to the computer then to alert it. So either way, what we've got now is the market's pressed out. It's popped back up to test 55.80. It's retested 55.25, and then you can see there's a bit of confusion there. So what we've done on the open is just popped through this little level. So you can see there was selling coming in. So we've just washed out that level. So are we going to see a washout for a move down through 55.28, or is it going to start to get supported? It is getting supported here, and it is finding a bit of resistance too. So again, like a lot of the other markets, I think they're in a bit of a flux, whether we go higher or whether we go lower. And there's a case for both sides. All right, so we'll keep an eye on the SPY as it plays out today, probably dropping it down to a 5-minute chart. So to me, that's suggesting that momentum on the downside is easy. And you can see that, I'll make that a bit bigger. The momentum's easy, but it's at a point where it can easily roll from here and continue momentum to the downside. It's just whether or not there's been enough pressure that should have pushed it down, and the bulls are really putting up a fight to support it, or it's just going to jam down. So we'll have to wait and see. That's going to play out probably the next 10 or 15, 20 minutes or so. All right, guys, that's about it. That's all I wanted to run through today. If you've got any questions, feel free to send us an email to support@tradesetup.com.au. Also, hope you had a great weekend and happy trading today. We'll see you again next week.